For nearly 10 years, the most wanted man on Earth had disappeared. No phone calls, no verified videos, no confirmed sightings. Osama bin Laden had become a ghost. The leader of the world's most hunted terrorist organization had vanished without leaving a trail. Then, quietly, without drones, without satellites, without a single photograph, one mistake changed everything. Osama bin Mohammed bin Awad bin Laden was born in Saudi Arabia, far from battlefields, surrounded by wealth few could imagine. His family built palaces, mosques, and highways, shaping a nation while their son would one day try to reshape the world. His father, Mohammed bin Laden, was a construction magnate whose company built palaces, highways, and mosques across Saudi Arabia, including projects around Islam's holiest sites. Osama grew up privileged, educated, and deeply religious. He studied economics and business administration, but his true interests lay elsewhere. In the late 1970s, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. For many in the Muslim world, this was not just a political conflict. It was seen as a religious struggle. He arrived not as a soldier, but as a financier, funding fighters and building networks instead of pulling triggers. Wealth turned into weapons, and belief turned into strategy, creating a dangerous combination. When the Soviets withdrew, bin Laden learned the wrong lesson about power. He believed faith alone could defeat empires, a belief that would cost thousands of lives. Exiled from Saudi Arabia, he moved from country to country, carrying his ideology with him. Out of exile emerged al-Qaeda, not an army, but an idea designed to travel. Bombings followed, embassies fell, and the world began to recognize his name.
A Friday morning in New York. Thousands of people at downtown. But this is a day unlike any other. Because the hunt for the world's most wanted man begins now. Terrorists attacked the World Trade Center. We heard a tremendous explosion that the entire building shook. But this is not 9/11. It's 80 years earlier. A 1,500-pound truck bomb rips a 100-foot hole through 4 levels of World Trade Center Tower 1. The blast is designed to topple one 110-story tower into the other, potentially killing tens of thousands of people. It has failed. But 6 are dead, and the injured number more than 1,000.
After 2001, bin Laden vanished completely, slipping into terrain and networks that erased him from the modern world. Some believed he escaped through the caves of Tora Bora, others believed he never left at all. Inside intelligence offices, files multiplied, but answers never arrived. Satellites watched mountains, villages, borders, yet found nothing. Bin Laden abandoned technology, knowing every signal could betray him. He trusted only couriers, human links immune to digital surveillance. The manhunt felt endless and the trail felt cold.
The CIA or the military had any idea that how difficult it would be to apprehend this guy.
Then, during interrogations, a name appeared again and again. Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, a courier trusted by the highest ranks. When leaders avoided the subject, analysts noticed the silence. The courier lived an ordinary life, hiding extraordinary importance. In 2010, intelligence finally followed him to a quiet city that never expected history to arrive. There, a compound stood apart, silent, guarded, suspicious. High walls, barbed wire, no obvious exits. A tall man paced inside, always hidden. They never saw his face, only his shadow. Inside the CIA, disagreement filled the room. Certainty never crossed 50%. The decision moved to the president. This meant violating an ally's sovereignty. and risking consequences far beyond one man. The time was running out. On May 2nd, 2011, the operation began. They entered Pakistan undetected. The mission continued without pause. 40 minutes passed inside those walls. Osama bin Laden was killed. Before sunrise, they were gone. Hours later, the world was told.
Good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children. It was nearly 10 years ago that a bright September day was darkened by the worst attack on the American people in our history. The images of 9/11 are seared into our national memory. Hijacked planes cutting through a cloudless September sky, the Twin Towers collapsing to the ground, black smoke billowing up from the Pentagon, the wreckage of Flight 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where the actions of heroic citizens saved even more heartbreak and destruction. And yet we know that the worst images are those that were unseen to the world. The empty seat at the dinner table, children who were forced to grow up without their mother or their father, parents who would never know the feeling of their child's embrace, nearly 3,000 citizens taken from us, leaving a gaping hole in our hearts. On September 11th, 2001, in our time of grief, the American people came together. We offered our neighbors a hand, and we offered the wounded our blood. We reaffirmed our ties to each other and our love of community and country. On that day, no matter where we came from, what God we prayed to, or what race or ethnicity we were united as one American family. We were also united in our resolve to protect our nation and to bring those who committed this vicious attack to justice. We quickly learned that the 9/11 attacks were carried out by al-Qaeda, an organization headed by Osama bin Laden, which had openly declared war on the United States and was committed to killing innocents in our country and around the globe. And so we went to war against al-Qaeda to protect our citizens, our friends, and our allies. Over the last 10 years, thanks to the tireless and heroic work of our military and our counterterrorism professionals, we've made great strides in that effort. We've disrupted terrorist attacks and strengthened our homeland defense. In Afghanistan, we removed the Taliban government, which had given bin Laden and al-Qaeda safe haven and support. And around the globe, we worked with our friends and allies to capture or kill scores of al-Qaeda terrorists, including several who were a part of the 9/11 plot. Yet, Osama bin Laden avoided capture and escaped across the Afghan border into Pakistan. Meanwhile, al-Qaeda continued to operate from along that border and operate through its affiliates across the world. And so shortly after taking office, I directed Leon Panetta, the director of the CIA, to make the killing or capture of bin Laden the top priority of our war against al-Qaeda, even as we continued our broader efforts to disrupt, dismantle, and defeat his network. Then, last August, after years of painstaking work by our intelligence community, I was briefed on a possible lead to bin Laden. It was far from certain, and it took many months to run this thread to ground. I met repeatedly with my national security team as we developed more information about the possibility that we had located bin Laden hiding within a compound deep inside Pakistan. And finally, last week, I determined that we had enough intelligence to take action and authorized an operation to get Osama bin Laden and bring him to justice. Today, at my direction, the United States launched a targeted operation against that compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. A small team of Americans carried out the operation with extraordinary courage and capability. No Americans were harmed. They took care to avoid civilian casualties. After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
The main things you want to do is maintain secrecy and OPSEC. Lots of stuff's leaking out these days on like social media and stuff like that. So basically keep yourself safe by keeping that information tight.
While operating under the cover of darkness keeps Chinook crews safer, they still have to contend with flying over the same mountainous terrain as daytime pilots.
Really, for us, flying at night is a trade-off. Less likely to be shot at by the enemy due to them being not able to see us, but the challenge becomes more environmental. And the mountains that we fly into, the Hindu Kush Mountains, can be anywhere from 7,000 up to as much as 20,000+ feet.
Despite these obstacles, Haynes says his crew is able to accomplish their mission every night. From Nangarhar, I'm Army Sergeant Tanagachi Mufuni.
Celebration mixed with questions. Terrorism did not end. A decade-long manhunt ended quietly, not with spectacle, but with silence.